Hi, I'm Becca Lane, and I'm the founder of the Little Round Schoolhouse. And today I bring you another video in our series, Lessons from the Schoolhouse. And I hope that by sharing some of what I've learned through my time in the classroom and my own time training as a teacher, that you can bring some of the magic and joy of the classroom into your home. I sat down today to do this video as I had the Storytime members in mind. These are the parents of the children who joined me for Storytime in the schoolhouse. And I wanted to do a video to explain a little bit about how I choose and present the content in Storytime. Some of you may be here right now listening to this because you were familiar with Waldorf education, and some of you may be new to it and learning more. Regardless, I think it is always good for us to dive into the whys of how things are done. So today I want to talk to you about what I choose to share with children, and specifically whether or not I'm choosing to share academic or scientific explanations or information with young children. And first of all, I want to tell you that I come from a place with a very fierce desire to protect childhood, to protect this time in children's lives as necessary and crucial. There's an idea in our culture, a belief that we should use every opportunity as a learning opportunity with our children. And this comes from a good place, a desire to prepare them for life, a desire to connect with our children about the things that we value and enjoy, and wanting them to connect with the world around them. So often one of the ways we do that is by turning opportunities into learning opportunities all the time. And instead, I want to present to you this idea of creating opportunities for connection opportunities instead of learning opportunities. And let me tell you what I mean. I would like to explain through an example. First, through giving you an idea of how I presented two different Storytime field trips. During one of our weekly field trips, we went to visit the bees. We observed a honeybee as she was on a blossom, gathering nectar and pollen, and we observed some hives. And during those videos, I intentionally did not get into scientific names or explanations with the children. In fact, I talked about the bee and the long straw that she used to drink up the yummy goodness from the flower. That is far from a scientific explanation. And then next week, we're going to go on a field trip, and we are going to be observing clouds in the sky. And there won't be much talking, just watching the clouds. And we may go as far as to say that there are different kinds of clouds. Do you notice that some look different from others? What do you see? But we won't start naming the types of clouds or what they mean about the weather patterns or anything like that. So why is this? In early childhood, children's brains are different than ours. They're not just small adults. And for them to connect with the world around them, they need to do so from a place of wonder and curiosity and imagination. So we want to give them that. So you'll notice in early childhood, we have a lot of stories about nature that paint it with some magic, that give scientific explanations in magical terms. And this is the reason. We are evoking that sense of wonder. We want children to notice the world around them. And for many of us, we are passionate about protecting the earth and the planet and the animals and wanting to be good human beings and stewards of this place. And because of that, we want to teach our children from a very young age all about the earth. And we may connect through a place of science, but they are connecting through a place of wonder. And I'm going to go so far as to say that what I have seen is that when we turn those moments of wonder into learning opportunities or science lessons, that it actually disconnects our child from whatever that is that they were connected with. And I want to give you an example. There's a family that I worked with, and when I first met them, it was in a garden, and their daughter was almost 3, just maybe 2 months away from being 3. And she was watching a butterfly in the garden as it flittered and fluttered about. And she was just staring at it there. And as soon as her dad saw her out of the corner of his eye, he went right to her and stood there with her and immediately said, "That's a butterfly," and then launched into a conversation about metamorphosis and chrysalises and pollination and having her repeat after him. And what I noticed was her eyes started to wander and she wasn't paying attention to the butterfly anymore. So this is an example that happened in real life that I see over and over again with children. When we give them this time for wonder and connection, that lays the foundation for academic learning. As their brains develop, that curiosity about the butterfly, just noticing the butterfly, having an awareness of the butterfly, that will later grow into questions about where it came from and its purpose and its activity. And then children are ready to start learning those answers when they're in those elementary school years. But during early childhood, it's okay to just let them be. So I encourage you, instead of trying to make everything a learning moment, try to make it a connection moment. Our children who grow up feeling connected to the earth, they're the ones who love the earth and will help to work to protect this place. Additionally, I would like to clarify this. Although I am distinguishing between making everything a learning opportunity versus a connecting opportunity, here's the kicker. The connecting, the observing is learning. Not only is it the foundation of later academic learning, but it is the beginning of learning in and of itself. And you know, if you're a scientist, that observing is the first part of the scientific method. So we don't want to bypass that stage to go on to later stages. Let's let our children stay where they're meant to be in early childhood, in this place of wonder and observation, of curiosity. For this truly lays the foundation for more advanced academic learning later in life and more of a connection with the world around them. I would love to know a little bit about your experience with this, if any, and if you have any questions. All right, I'll see you next time.